Okay. Welcome to the North Texas Rotary E Club October 11th meeting. We're going to have Linda do the invocation and David will do the pledge.
As we gather here this evening as members of Rotary, we pray that we are ever mindful of opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community, to our country, and indeed to all countries and peoples. Bless our fellowship today. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta get over here. Well, thank you for putting the flag in front of my face. Yeah. You see how much respect I get. You'll join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic to which it stands, one nation,
under God,
indivisible,
With
with
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice
for
for
all.
all.
Okay. Is there any new business, Linda, that we need to know about?
I went to the round table on Saturday. Of course, they're collecting stuff for the cruise in April, next April. I did buy some stuff just to support them. And I got more Rotarians to chip in on the CPS party. And I think that was about it. Oh, you got the email from, Larry Webb about wanting to know information on it. Our grant has been approved for the $400 and we'll match that. So we'll have $800. I've been getting other donations, but I know it went to you. I answered it with who
I
all
saw
did
it.
everything. So if that's okay, I'm not usurping your authority.
That's all right. I'm not power hungry.
Well, may not know what we're using.
Today,
Oh.
North Texas Rotary, tomorrow the world. Got to start
Okay.
somewhere.
Okay, and the grant that we get is for, we work with the Texas Department of Health Services in Harlingen, Texas.
Right.
And we partner with other Rotary clubs across the state. I have like 4 other Rotary clubs or 5. And the Brownsville Sunrise Rotary Club, we meet with them. They take the nurses from Mexico at the Walmart in Matamoros, and they buy the groceries for, this year there'll be 31 families that have multi-drug resistant TB or tuberculosis. And so we used to do it, we buy the product in Harlingen, and then the nurses would have to take it across the border, and they were being hassled by customs. So now we found out we get better prices and everything over in Mexico. So they do that for us. And so we've got a partnership with Austin University Area Rotary Club, E Club of Central Texas, the Brownsville Sunrise, McKinney, and then I have a couple of individuals. So
About $1 will feed a family for a day. I mean, it's not what we'd like to eat, but
well, we try to provide just a little bit more than that, but it supplies food for about a month for them of what we give each family. So, okay, that's all I've got. Anything else going on? Chris, anything going on?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I think since our last meeting, what is this, the 10th? Chris took our exchange student from Switzerland. He took him to the gun range.
Oh,
And
Yes, ma'am.
so I think he did pretty well, according to the Target thing I saw.
Yeah, oh, yes, he grasped it pretty fast, and they all had a great time. I appreciate them trusting me with them.
Well, I'm the youth protection officer, so we had approval.
my grandfather taught me to shoot a rifle, and he died when I was 6. So when I was something like 3 or 4, I was shooting a rifle on a 100-yard range.
Oh, wow.
Well, actually, I had a rock about 5 feet away that I was shooting at.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all. I haven't heard from anybody else, so that's
okay.
about it.
Then I will introduce our speaker. Our speaker tonight is, let me find her, Alicia Mitchell, and her topic is self-improvement and personal empowerment. What is self-improvement and how can it be transferred over into personal empowerment? And what I recommend is we mute our microphones while she's talking, and then we'll unmute them to ask questions. This way there's no background noise. Okay, so yours, Alicia. If you want, you can show us. You could just talk if you want. That's fine. If you have a PowerPoint, you can do that also. Whatever's in your best interest. Your stage is yours. Typically, speakers go 20 to 30 minutes. Go ahead.
All right. Awesome. Hi, guys. Thank you for letting me be here. Unfortunately, I just got off work and I'm driving, so I didn't have my camera on. I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, so I don't have a PowerPoint, but I did write something down to discuss today. Will be about roughly 15 minutes. And then we can, and I can answer questions, have comments or remarks. But like you just stated, I will be talking about self-improvement, personal empowerment, the 5 personal goals of growth that goes with that, and SMART goals that you can set for you to have self-improvement and personal empowerment. So this is really like an important topic for me because this is what my podcast is all about. So let's just jump right into it. And the question posed was, what is self-improvement and how can it be transferred? Oh,
Okay.
We've lost
We
you,
lost
Alicia.
we lost your audio. Are you there? That was even shorter than 15 minutes. Can you hear us, Alicia? We don't hear you. Okay. Give her a moment. I don't know if she can hear us or not.
Well, I know they say don't drive and talk on your cell phone. I don't know if doing a Zoom meeting is
Well,
frowned on.
it might depend on the area you're in. Sometimes there's gray zones where
Well, she's in Dallas. She said, so if she's on a freeway or something,
she should have good reception. She's still there,
yeah,
so I
her
don't
sound
know.
just went out.
I'm not sure what happened. We'll give her a moment to reconnect. So right now, Alicia, we don't hear you. Okay, so while we're waiting, does anyone have anything else
Maria, what have you been up to? Unmute, Maria. Is she-
I've been working on inviting others to get here. Up to
Invite
the
what?
last others to get to our meeting.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I've been working on that.
That's
But yeah, in addition to personal stuff, the most recent thing that I had one student for the past 3 months, just about, which is working quite well. So nothing major, but consistency is what I'm looking for.
That's
Okay.
good.
Are you doing
Yeah.
any more meetings like you were doing?
Yes, I have one set up, and I would love to talk with you how it's so
Yeah,
we
that's what I
can do
was gonna
that.
ask. Give me a call sometime tomorrow, and I think it's long enough. We could do some things we did at the beginning again, because there'll be new people.
Phenomenal. That's
Okay,
awesome.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't
yeah.
know what happened to the speaker.
I don't know. It says she's still connected.
There's no way
And-
to find
and-
out.
And she's got us. I don't think that we can undo that.
No, it's not on our end.
Yeah.
I don't think it's on our end. I think
Well,
Yes,
it's,
she doesn't have a video.
Let me send her a message and send a message and let in the chat. I
Oh,
don't know if
okay.
she's
Oh, yeah.
able to
We'll do
read
that.
it. Yeah.
okay. Why don't you try that? Yeah. In the worst case, we'll reschedule her, but she's waiting.
It'd
So,
be, yeah, February or March.
well, I've been booking way ahead. I'm trying not
I know,
to.
and I've got a speaker. I think I've saved the dates on several. But don't
Yeah.
forget to come on November 22nd, everybody, to the in-person meeting at the Spring Creek Barbecue. and it's in Irving, and we're going to have Shiloh Harris,
Right.
and remember, and he's coming up from San Antonio.
And
to
you'll
be-
put it online, right? You'll be
We
able
will be Zooming it.
Okay,
I've got the
'cause-
big room saved there at the bar,
Okay,
at Spring
okay.
Creek on Beltline and 183 in Irving,
Okay.
starting around 5:30. It's on Facebook, and I'm inviting several other people. I think we can have about 40 or 50 people there.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
So
If I was there, I'd go there. But
I know.
unfortunately-
So Chris, if you know any veterans or anybody that would like to come, invite them.
Oh,
Or-
Oh, most definitely I will.
Okay.
that's a good point. That's what I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna schedule my Wounded Warrior program. I'll probably do it at the beginning of December. I want to have enough time to. Last year I got like 50 people, and I could do a lot more than that. So if you, I'll start getting it put together, and let's coordinate with Chris and some other people to.
So you need to coordinate with Shiloh too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just-
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm gonna do it, I might as well give as many people the benefit. And of course, anybody in our group that wants to attend, you could just show up. You know, I'll train you also. But the purpose of the training is to help. When I was training the Wounded Warrior, not the Wounded Warriors, I was training the Green Berets. They told me that 20 of the Wounded Warriors commit suicide every day, and I was kind of shocked at the high number. And he said it's because they can't find jobs. I said, well, they have a GI Bill, they can get a degree, and they went up to have a problem. He said they don't know how to learn. And that's kind of what I do. So I said, I'll teach them for free. My dad was a Wounded Warrior, and I would just do that. But I'd get like 40 people, and I could do a couple hundred. So it's the same work. I just would like to help more of them because there's so many of them that are struggling. And it makes me sad that, you know, we treat veterans very poorly in this country. You know, we're real big on getting them to join, but when something goes wrong and they're on their way out, it's like your yesterday's news. Look what they did with Agent Orange and things like that, where these people had all those diseases and they didn't want to take any responsibility. And I didn't think that's right. I think people who have done what they did deserve to be treated better.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, Alicia hasn't answered, but I'm thinking if she's driving, she's not going to be looking at her
No.
chat.
No, she
So-
may not even know. She may be chatting away right now.
Oh, while we're talking about people and everything, you were going to send applications to, well, Sarita at one time, and then our speaker from last time was
I
her name
did. I
Robin?
sent one
Robin?
to Robin. I did send it
Okay.
to Robin. I'm not sure about the other one. I don't remember.
That was several months ago. It's
yeah, I
Sarita
did send it,
Johnson.
and you sent me a new one. to
Yeah,
send.
Robin was the
Yeah,
one.
I sent that to Robin about
Okay.
a week and a half ago. So I did
Okay.
send it. I was going to follow up with it. I don't like to hound people. So I figure if I don't hear from them in a week or a week and a half, it's not hounding them.
Well, now how long did I hound you, Chris?
Oh, you didn't help me. Look, you gave me one call, and I was like, I'm
Was that
gonna
it?
follow up with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
No.
you want to follow up. That's not hounding. But some
Yeah.
people, you don't want to like call every day. Just
No, no.
so
no.
that's what I'm doing. I'm giving her a little time, and if I don't hear back, then we'll get back to her again. But
Okay.
yeah.
Also, Chris, you might reach out to Joe Henderson. He's a retired Air Force colonel, and he was asking me what you did at the VA, and I will send you his telephone number.
And you could tell them if you could get me the number of someone at the Pentagon that works with the Wounded Warriors, I would call them up and I would let them know what I'm doing.
He's retired colonel.
No, I know that, but if they know who to contact, they may know the person to call.
Well,
All
Shiloh-
kinds of contacts.
Yeah, Shiloh would have all kinds of.
That would help me, because I'm sure if I reach someone there, I mean, they got all those names, and just let them know what we're doing so he can help them. There's an organization called Wounded Warriors, and I tried reaching out, and they didn't even get back to me. I called 3 times, and they ignored me, and I felt really sorry because I was trying to help them. I wasn't asking for anything, and for whatever reason, they never even called me back. And
Oh, here she
Okay,
is.
now I hear you. I'm so sorry, sir.
We
oh,
lost you.
she's back.
Okay, did you hear anything I said?
No,
No, we're going to
No.
mute ourselves. It's your turn. Go ahead.
And it just cut off.
it just cut off.
Oh my God, I went all the way through.
Have you been talking for
Sorry,
15
I'm
minutes?
so sorry. I didn't realize I was just rambling on, but would you like me to do it again? It's
Go
just
ahead. We got plenty of time.
yeah, it's just about 12 minutes. I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I didn't realize that. Okay. So
It's all
today
you.
I'm here to talk about self-improvement and how it, transfers over to personal empowerment. And we're going to also talk about, SMART goals that you can add, and then the 5 key areas of growth that you can practice in growing and extending self-empowerment to self-improvement to make it to personal empowerment. So let's just go to the question that was posed. What is self-improvement and how can it be transferred over into personal empowerment? So basically, self-improvement and personal empowerment is pretty much self-explanatory. I always say you can switch the words around, just flip them to make sure that you understand the meaning. So let's start with self-improvement. That means improving oneself. You see how I did that? And then you have personal empowerment, which is empowering yourself personally. So that's an easy way to understand that if you just flip the words. And so with self-improvement, you always need, I'm so sorry. Self-improvement is always needed, especially when you want to be the best version of yourself. So we're speaking about being our best selves and being seen in our best lives. This is what this is all about. And that's how the self-improvement kind of transfers over to personal empowerment. It's a continuous character development. So what we're doing with the SMART goals and the 5 areas of growth are we're developing really good character traits for everyone to see. So self-improvement is also characterized under personal improvement. So you can see the translation and the correlation with the personal. So when we speak about this, we're not talking about third person. We're not talking about second person. This is first person. This is you working on yourself individually. It has nothing to do with anyone else. So it's all about like enhancing the quality of life. We want to just be living our best lives. And to live our best lives, that's why we have to include self-improvement and personal empowerment so we can be seen in our best lives. So to do this, the first step is you need to realize your dreams and aspirations. So when I say that, it's posing the question, what do you aspire to be? What are your inspirations? Or, what are your dreams? When you figure these things out, then you can actively move forward in trying to practice self-improvement and it transferring over to personal empowerment. So, personal empowerment, I'm so sorry, guys, because I messed up the first part and I got thrown off. Improving yourself and actively practicing personal empowerment, which leads me to the 5 areas of personal growth. So when we talk about these 5 areas of personal growth, it's just areas that you personally need to work on, that you want to grow. So when you listen to these, you think to yourself, which one of these 5 or all 5, or I'm already doing it, that I need to actively practice these growth in. And remember, growth is a continuous process. We're forever growing, we're forever maturing, we're forever pivoting in life, and things are changing, so we have to continue to grow. So when we talk about the 5 areas of personal growth, we start with number 1, mental growth. So when we speak of mental growth, it's development of your mind. That's how we actively practice personal growth in the mental aspect. And you can do that by, meditation. You can do that by education, like constantly educating yourself on certain things and strengthening your mental capacity. Number 2 is social growth. So when we speak of social growth, it's about like improving communication skills. How are you communicating with people? Are you an active listener? Are you speaking directly? Are you speaking clearly? Just how do you communicate with others? Number 3 is spiritual growth. So, and this is a big one for me. I love the spiritual growth because it's about connecting with yourself. We're in a world of chaos a lot. So it's hard to find that center. So that's what number 3 is all about, finding that inner peace. And number 4 is emotional growth, managing your feelings. How are you reacting to certain things? What are your reactions? Do you react and see a pattern in these type of emotional situations that are charged? And number 5 is physical growth, which is self-explanatory. And it's just taking care of your body. And some ways you can do that is exercising and eating better and all types of things. So that is the 5 areas of personal growth: mental growth, social growth, spiritual growth, emotional growth, and physical growth. And lastly, I would talk about the SMART goals. So when we talk about SMART goals, I always throw out work smarter, not harder. And that's how you can do it, by setting these SMART goals. And I'm going to break down the acronyms for these SMART goals so you can understand them better. So S is for specific. We're setting specific goals that we have in mind. What do you want to do? Not what you think you should do or what others want you to do. What are some specific goals that you want to obtain? And measurable would be M. When we set measurable goals, that is not goals that are so far out in the future that we feel like we can't even measure up to them because they're not really us, or they're big shoes to fill, as we call it. And measurable also goes right into the next one, A, achievable. And when we say achievable, we always have people to say, what's your 5-year plan? Sometimes I don't even make it to that 5-year plan. It's super hard. I get started, but I can't honestly get there, or the route just turns. So we want to set achievable goals. And is it relevant? Does this, will this help me right now? Or is it something that is not as relevant because it's 5 years down the line and it's just a vision? So we want to make sure that we are centered right now in the moment when we talk about relevant. And the last one is time bound. See, they all go together. So you want to make sure that you are setting goals that have time management skills all the way through them. You're having to set a goal with a time frame in mind, but it's not far out where you lose sight and hope. So those are the SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And when you set goals around those, along with the 5 areas of personal growth, you will practice more self-improvement that can be transferred over to personal empowerment. That way you can recognize your strengths and weaknesses and build on them. There we go. So now I'm open to questions and remarks or comments.
Well, first we want to thank you. I'm sorry that you did it twice, but we did enjoy it, and we appreciate the fact that you were professional and you took the time to complete it, even though that initially there was a drop-off. So I wanted to say thank you for that. And it was good information. And I think it's particularly interesting because you're doing it in the car, that you could stay so focused on a topic and still drive. That says a lot about your accomplishment and where you're at, because that's not an easy thing to do a full presentation while you're engaged like you are. So you obviously know your material very well, and I wanted to commend you.
Thank you.
Chris has his hand up.
Chris has his hand up.
All right, so I had a question. So, hey, Miss Alicia, I have a question for you. So, we're going on self-improvement. How does self-improvement works with a team and its characteristics?
So as far as a team and its characteristics and self-improvement, it goes back to strengths and weaknesses. So within a group, you have to sit there and figure out what's people's strengths, what's people's weaknesses and put them in those places. Even the people, sometimes I found out people weaknesses are their strengths. It goes backwards. So that we can place them in these roles where they can fulfill them and not feel as pressured. And they're able to improve because that's a strength of theirs, or that's a weakness that they're trying to transfer over to a strength. So I would just say focusing on the group's strengths and weaknesses and building off of that to get that self-improvement.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
It's just in Rotary, we try to, if some new member comes in, find out what their interests are and put them in that position so that they can be engaged and have an interest.
I totally understand. I welcome the questions. I like to be kind of challenged, so that's cool.
Well, I mean, I have another if you'd like to be challenged.
Yeah, come on.
All right. So, with this process, do you have a support system? And how does that support system play into this, growth?
Yes, I have a support system. I sometimes it's hard for people to find support systems to feel supported the way they want to be supported. So I always say find a safe place first. And so my safe place is my podcast, where I'm able to actively pour out my emotions and don't worry about judgment. But when it comes to, if that's not enough, then we have those, people in church. We have our family members. We find people that are safe people that provide a safe place. And that can be whatever you want it to be. Some people think safe places are their hobbies. What makes you happy? Gardening, things like that. So you want to find something that can, like we always talk about, that can center you, and not necessarily would have to be a support group, because some people find that the support they need or the type of love they're looking for, others cannot give it as much as they can find it in themselves.
Hey, great response.
Any other questions? Anyone? David, Linda, Maria, you have any questions?
Well, I was just trying to think of some way I could improve. Linda will take the next 30
I'm sure
minutes.
Linda has a list somewhere that you'll
Oh, she
be
does.
seeing in a moment.
She pulled the chair. Well, I gotta be.
You gotta be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, I love the inclusion of SMART goals. I see a lot of companies utilizing that. And, your 5 areas is great. I even written that down so I can pass that on to people, my peers. So, like I said, it's a lot of great information.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. I can also whip up a PowerPoint and send it to you with all that I've spoken for you to share as well.
That would be nice. Thank you.
Very appreciative.
Would you go ahead and put your information in the chat, Chris?
And how to get to your podcast. You didn't give us the name of your podcast and how to get to it.
Gotcha.
Are you still in your car?
Yes, I did pull over though.
Oh, okay.
I did pull over for a while.
And Maria's raised her
Oh, and
hand.
Maria's raised her hand.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I wasn't in a position to speak, but I just wanted to say, Alicia, it is, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Your presentation was succinct and very to the point, and I gained so much from it. I want to say thank you. And the lesson behind all of this it's just me, primarily a statement, and I would love to also listen to it again, because you broke it down so simply that it would, it's easy for everyone to follow. And I believe we're always in that mode of learning. As long as we have breath, we're learning. And so you are phenomenal. And I just want to give you your flowers and say, I really appreciate it. And learning what I've gained from it, it never stops. If we make a mistake, if we miss one of the points that you have given, go back, do it over, because there's always something to gain from it. And I'd love, as Howard says, and everyone else to
And it's
plug into your
recorded, so
podcast.
we should have it on our website tomorrow or the day after. I have to render this and upload it. But
Right.
Okay.
That'd be awesome. Thank you so much. And that's what I strive for. Because sometimes you run into people that you feel like that are not on your level. So my podcast, I don't want to dumb down, but I want to meet you on your level. Because sometimes we listen to people and we're lost. You're like, what are they talking about? They're like foreign language. So for me, I strive not to meet people at their level and help them have an understanding, because I want everyone to hear. I don't want you to skip over it because like, I've had that before because I like want feedback from people. I don't even understand it and I don't even get it. So I won't even listen to it. Try to listen first, and I will break it down more for you to understand, because I'm really big on root words. When you see a big word, get the root word, it will tell you the definition.
anyone else have anything they want to add? Anyone?
Linda's got her
I
hand
thought
up.
I did, but I think she answered it, or I can't remember what it was. My cat distracted me.
Oh.
No,
Sorry.
no, she's making her list, David. You better be you'll be sorry.
Y'all, you can send me anything that you think afterwards. Just send it.
Well, I
to
know
me.
what it was. How do we get onto your I've never gone on a podcast. And so you said on any audio platform, like what?
Every audio platform, and when I say every, I mean every. So I'm in
Like what?
50 countries out of 195. Pandora, Spotify, Apple, whatever iHeartRadio, whatever you can name.
Okay, because I'm not on any, the only thing I'm on is Facebook.
Okay, so what kind of phone do you have? Is it an Android? Or
I have an
iPhone?
iPhone.
Okay, you can go right on Apple Music and type in OTC by Alicia Mitchell. It'll pop right up.
Apple Music?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
And Android users, the user-friendly is Spotify for them, but I'm anywhere. Pandora, you just type that in, it'll pop right up.
Okay.
Sounds good. What can you tell us a little about the podcast? Is it a short? Some people do like a couple of minutes. Some people do 30 minutes. Some people do an hour. What would your podcast be more like?
Yes, so I pay attention to people's attention spans because I have a short one. I'm not gonna lie. So my episodes are no more than 20 minutes. But you might have someone like this one, 15, 12. I strive to make sure that people can stay engaged and I don't lose that interest. So no more than 20 minutes.
Okay, that's good to know. So I know there are podcasts that run very long, and you're right. It's much more difficult to stay engaged, especially when you're busy, like some people are.
Yes. So yeah, like I said, my podcast is about self-improvement and personal empowerment. So I think that's why I kind of picked the topic and I never really talked about that one. And I was like, hey, this is what my podcast is about. Let me speak on it. So I speak on the 80-20 rule. I mean, it's really getting into it. Accountability, integrity, compromising. So these things are really things that can help build those character traits that I was talking about.
Do you use guests or do you do it by yourself?
I do it by myself.
hard.
I actually did this season for me to be on guest shows. So I'm open to be on guest shows. And I recently collaborated with somebody in Nigeria. That was super cool.
Okay, very nice. Well, we appreciate you spending time. You're more than welcome to be part of our group if you'd like. Since you're in Dallas, you might find there's some real benefits in being part of Rotary. It's easy to find speaking engagements through Rotary as well, because every club needs a speaker every week. So that'll keep you busy.
Alicia, on November the 22nd, we're going to have an in-person meeting. I think you were offline when I was talking about it. It's going to be at the Spring Creek Barbecue there at Beltline in 183. And one of our members, Shiloh Harris, he was an Army vet, and his Humvee was hit by an IED. He was the only survivor, and he went through multiple 60 or 70 surgeries on his burns and everything. And he's driving up from San Antonio, and he's a motivational speaker. And so you might want to come over to the Spring Creek on the 22nd around 5:30.
Yeah, just send me the details. I know exactly where that is. I would love to. I'm really active in the community, so I would love that.
Thank you. That'd be
Spent
great. Linda, you
48
could do that.
days.
He said David said he spent 48 days in a coma,
An
induced coma.
induced coma.
Wow, it's amazing to live.
It burned his ears off. He's got fake ears, which he can change ear styles, whatever.
He could be Spock or whatever. But if you remember the Ty Pennington's Extreme Makeover, he had the last house that they did
Oh, okay. I have seen that one.
down in Floresville, Texas.
Wow.
And he's no longer living in that house. This was multiple years ago. I think his accident happened in 2007. And so anyway, his life has changed a little bit, but he goes across the country also speaking in veterans things. And I've known him for quite some time. So he finally joined our Rotary Club this past year.
Yes.
So, but he's a very nice person. And Chris, if you can get more people from the veterans to come out. Also, I have Barry Jordan, who is active with veterans. He would also like to talk with you about getting veteran stuff done. And
And I want to talk to them also.
Yes, send me his information. I don't mind following up with him.
Okay. I'll send you the information.
Sounds good. Is there any other business we need to discuss before we do the four-way test? Anyone?
He says goodbye.
Oh, okay. Okay,
He's
that's
asleep.
the monster. Okay. I'm going to do the four-way test
Okay.
of the things we think, say, and do. First,
Is it the truth?
Second, is
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third, will
Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
Fourth, will be beneficial to
Beneficial to all concerned.
And we do will be fun. Thanks, everyone. See you soon, and be safe. And I enjoyed having the meeting. Be well. Take care.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Howard. Thank you, everyone. This was